We have some late breaking news about Ripple, Blackrock, and VanEck. Throw in some RLUSD and you have the future of financial markets. I'm going to take you through each and every step here, what's happening behind the scenes, the inside information I've been able to find on X, and community speculation. We're going to get into all of it and so much more. Let's just jump right into it. Ripple stablecoin RLUSD is now the on and off ramp for Blackrock and VanEck tokenized funds via Securitize. Here is the announcement from Securitize. What used to take days in finance can now happen instantly with stablecoins. The integration of Ripple's RLUSD into tokenized fund products represents a step toward practical adoption of blockchain-based cash equivalents in capital markets. With BlackRock's Bill and VanEck's V-Bill, treasuries carry the strength of the US dollar on-chain through Securitize, the world's largest issuer of tokenized securities. Larry Fink has been on Fox and other networks a lot in the last few years. Recently, in like the last 12 months, he was asked specifically about XRP, and this was his reaction.
How about an XRP ETF? I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't. And you don't want me to.
I do.
Well, I can't.
All right. They're giving me the wrap. Thank you.
Okay, so he can't answer, which means it's one of a few things, right? Either there's an NDA in place, which a lot of the community believes, right? There's all this collaboration actually happening behind the scenes between BlackRock and Ripple to do with, XRP or these types of products that you're seeing right here. And Larry Fink can't specifically say anything due to those NDAs, or right, there's nothing there. It's kind of one or the other. And now that we're getting these newer announcements, you start to believe the reason that he couldn't answer here was because of maybe a possible NDA. Brad Garlinghouse even said, very excited to share BlackRock's Bill and VanEck's V-Bill tokenized fund holders can redeem for RLUSD Ethereum 24/7 through Securitize. Now, through Ethereum, which means that this is going to be taking place on Ethereum, but the collaborations and connections are still there. I do believe they'll work in XRP through all this as well. But this is just to quote here, RLUSD on ETH 24/7, 365. The post highlights how the integration of Wormhole with XRP Ledger and involvement of BlackRock Bill, VanEck V-Bill, and RLUSD stablecoin create a new interoperable financial infrastructure that is highly advantageous to both XRP and Ripple. Key details in the post: Wormhole integration. Wormhole, a leading cross-chain messaging asset bridge protocol, now connects XRP Ledger to 35 blockchain networks, including Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche. This means assets and tokenized issues on XRP Ledger can seamlessly move across chain while maintaining their native issuance and control. Institutional on-ramps. Major institutional tokenized funds like BlackRock's Bill and VanEck's V-Bill connect to RLUSD, Ripple stablecoin, via smart contracts. This gives institutional investors a way to move between traditional finance, which is the tokenized fund shares, and on-chain stable liquidity, which is RLUSD 24/7. Interoperability and mass adoption. David Schwartz, CTO, emphasizes that real mass adoption requires such interoperability. The ability to move assets across networks without losing native control is foundational for enabling large-scale institutional and retail adoption. This is what we've been looking for. We need more cases like this that really do show us that the future of all of these different financial markets will be on chain, and hopefully a lot of this value can and will go through the XRP ledger. It does talk about strategic big picture here, ecosystem synergy. The alignment of BlackRock, VanEck, and Ripple, Wormhole, and RLUSD creates a feedback loop where tokenized assets gain seamless cross-chain utility, enabling XRP and XRP ledger to sit at the center of both TradeFi and DeFi transactions, connecting the old system to the new system. And when you can handle this type of value at scale, if it's good enough for BlackRock, which is the largest assets manager on the planet, 12 trillion under management, it's good for anybody at this point, right? This is what I think we're trying to show. Here is the Securitize CEO talking about the implications of all this.
There is the breaking news that I want to get into with you. Ripple and Securitize are enabling Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD for smart contract functionality for BlackRock's Bill and VanEck's V-Bill. Let's talk about it. What does this integration allow Bill and V holders to do? Why does it matter?
When Ripple invested in our company, they used to tell us, today we focus on cross-border payments, but one day we want to do more things, and tokenization is something one day we want to get into. And that has taken many, many years to happen. But if you look at their progression the last couple of years, they've, bought a custody business, so they do custody now. They have a prime brokerage business, and they just recently launched their own stablecoin. So it's a natural next step for them to get into tokenization. And in this case, they're doing it through supporting us as a liquidity provider using the newest stablecoin, RLUSD. So as soon as this gets announced, we're going to have basically a provision of RLUSD on-chain where people will be able to take either Bill or V-Bill and will be able to basically liquidate it against to get liquidity instantly without having to wait for market hours to be able to kind of do the TradFi liquidation of the treasuries.
And was that not possible prior?
It was possible with other stablecoins, but in a less effective way. And then at the end of the day, we need to have as much liquidity as possible, and we need to have as much variety of stablecoins as possible.
Do you see why Ripple waited for the New York Department of Financial Services to approve RLUSD? Do you see their plan all along here coming together? Having the custodian of RLUSD reserves be BNY Mellon, the largest custodian on the planet, right? When you start combining these names, there is no larger financial institutions. This is the top, right? There's no arguing. Is it happening? Is it not happening? Is it speculation? Here it is. They're going to tell you that XRP doesn't have utility. Well, if it didn't have utility, why are the biggest financial institutions on the planet knocking down Ripple's door to use the technology? I'll wait for the comments down below. All right, I did want to show you this. Rob Cunningham with a great post. Trustless restores trust. One interoperable truth ledger. One neutral bridge utility token. One decentralized consensus. One global level playing field. Equity, law trumps maritime fraud. Global trade equals globalization. Decentralized over centralized. Freedom and liberty over debt slavery. Dark to light, in plain sight. End of the Fed, indeed. Here is Larry Fink.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and
It'll be on one general ledger. You don't say. You don't say. All right, I did want to show you some value here, some additional context about all this. I just wanted to see what other types of maybe connections that we're seeing here, maybe forgetting about. Let's talk about BlackRock Buildo, BlackRock's fund. This integration is part of a broader strategy by Ripple and XRP Ledger and RLUSD foundational rails for tokenized assets, stablecoin liquidity payments, and DeFi. Other Ripple partners following similar structures include VanEck Securitized, DBS, and Franklin Templeton, right? It's so fun to go through this. The integration is operational through Securitized with direct pathways for institutional bill and V-bill. Here, there's some other additional. Ripple has also key influential partnerships, VanEck Securitized, DBS, Franklin Templeton, Cambridge Global Payments, Trangolo, Onafric, MoneyGram, Clear Junction, and the National Bank of Georgia, among others. Larry Fink has commented, I showed you that before, we don't really need to get into that. BlackRock holds about $12.5 trillion in assets under management, making it the largest global asset manager on the planet. VanEck is more focused on ETFs through digital assets. They manage about $132.9 billion in assets. Both firms recently expanded into blockchain markets, with BlackRock reportedly crypto holdings alone reaching $104 billion. BlackRock knows where the future of value is, right? If they didn't believe it, why would they have so much money invested in it already? Okay. Here is more information about the connections. Institutional adoption, both blockchain via the XRP ledger allows BlackRock and VanEck to tokenize real world assets, provide 24/7 redemption to enable programmable liquidity for holders. XRP's track record for reliability, no major downtime since 2012. Its low and fast transaction speeds make it preferable to global asset managers alternatives like Ethereum. Ripple RLUSD stablecoin offers instant settlement, regulatory compliance, and on and off ramp capabilities, addressing institutional liquidity needs and lowering the risk cost to cross-border payments. XRP ledgers, DeFi, and collateralized lending rails makes it more attractive for tokenized asset management, lending, and broader institutional DeFi. You're basically having the financial system being reborn, remade on blockchain. And to do all of this, you need interoperable ledgers, right? It's never going to be just one to rule them all. But between XRP Ledger, you got AVAX is involved in some of this. You have Chainlink heavily involved. XLM is involved. A lot of people believe, there's so many assets that owning these assets right now is really like owning a piece of the financial future. And, man, just where can we find more money to buy more assets? That's my only question here. This was a great diagram if you're kind of wondering how all of this works. You have the crypto market here, VanEck and BlackRock's funds. You have traditional finance. And then here's XRP as the bridge, liquidity plus flexibility, right? RLUSD as the institutional investor's choice. Remember, when you expand this globally too, RLUSD can still act as a bridge asset going in between any other type of crypto or fiat currency too. So if you're trying to connect the world's financial systems, what is the best token to do that, right? You start to be like, oh shit, XRP, right? XRP is the best token. And then you do have a lot of things being posted here about digital perspectives and digital asset investor. RLUSD is about to tap into a $400 trillion derivatives market. I'm going to do a whole video on this because it's not really 400 trillion. All good, all good. The same day this video comes out, that video will be ready for you guys to go to take a look at that. And then of course, everyone's talking about this online, BlackRock, Buildo, Wormhole, XRP Ledger. And then you start to look here, Coinbase cold wallets remained static for years, began showing significant movement starting June 2025, emptied just days before Brad Garlinghouse's wedding. And around the time BlackRock is expanding its own presence in the ecosystem. So people are speculating that BlackRock is stepping in heavily to buy, or this is maybe their XRP for the whole time. That is what the speculation is. Regardless whose it is, it's being depleted right now from Coinbase at alarming levels. And you start to wonder, how much XRP is left, right? Estimated 970 million XRP. Coinbase Cold Wallets tracker, 52 Coinbase Cold Wallets in total, 10 wallets, 26 million, 42 wallets, 16.8 million, 940 million total. And then Jack McDonald did say ending Q3 on a high note through Ripple's partnership with Securitize and RLUSD is a key stablecoin off-ramp for BlackRock's Buildle and the next V-Build tokenized holders. This integration starting with Ethereum through Securitize is planned to integrate with the XRP ledger. Starting on Ethereum, we know where it's heading. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below if you got anything. If you're happy, we're back in the studio. You can like the video, can share with a friend. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Let's get it. I'm back. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Please seek financial advice if you need it. Let's get back to the video.